Okay, let's talk about performance reviews. You know, that time of year that can be super stressful, kind of confusing, and honestly, it can feel like a total black box. But what if you knew exactly how the system worked? Well, in this explainer, we're going to pull back that curtain. We're breaking down a real corporate performance management system, the scores, the weird acronyms, and the exact steps you need to take to absolutely crush it. Let's dive in. So, let's just start with the biggest question right off the bat. Imagine you get your review back and you see a 7 out of 10. How are you feeling? Pretty decent, right? Like maybe a solid B-? Yeah, in most places that would be a totally fair way to look at it. But in the system we're talking about today, making that assumption, well, you'd be completely off base.
And here it is, the big reveal. A 7 out of 10 isn't just good, it's perfect. No, literally, it means you did exactly what was asked of you, and you did it flawlessly. So you've got to get this in your head. A 7 isn't some average passing grade, it's the gold standard. It's the bullseye you should be aiming for every single quarter.
All right, so if a 7 is perfect execution, what's the bare minimum you need to be considered successful? That magic number is 4.5. Think of it as the launch pad. As long as you score above a 4.5, you are officially meeting expectations and you're considered on the right track. It's the starting line for your performance journey each quarter.
Okay, so every quarter, it's like the game completely resets. And it all kicks off with this one super important meeting centered around something called the OGSM. Now that stands for Objectives, Goals, Strategies, and Measures. This is basically where the company hands you your playbook for the next 3 months.
This meeting happens on day 1, and you really can't overstate how important it is. It basically sets your entire quarter in motion. You're going to walk out of there knowing 2 critical things. First, exactly what your targets are for the next quarter. Those are your new KPIs. And second, how you scored on all the work you just finished. It's a really powerful look back and a very clear look forward.
This chart just lays it all out, doesn't it? You can see that 4.5 for success, that's your starting block. You got to get over that bar. Then you see the 7.0 for full achievement. That is the finish line you are sprinting towards. And that third bar, overachievement, well, that's kind of like your victory lap. Scores above 7 are for when you just blow the expectations out of the water. Like, say your goal was to deliver 3 new features and you somehow delivered 4? Well, hello, overachievement zone.
Okay, so you've got your goals from that OGSM meeting. Now, how do you actually prove you're hitting them? That's where the POAM comes in. It stands for Plan of Actions and Milestones. And you should think of this as your personal toolkit for building the case for your own success week by week. This is your evidence locker.
And the company is super clear about what they expect you to document in your poem. Ideally, they want to see you logging one measurable, concrete deliverable every single week. That adds up to 13 for the quarter. The absolute bare minimum to stay on the right track? 1 every 2 weeks, so 7 in total. Seriously, think of this as the paper trail that proves your value when it matters most.
And listen, when you're documenting your work, detail is everything. You can't just write, worked on the project. No way. You have to provide the whole story. A clear title, a really detailed description, the priority level, any dependencies holding you up, and all those key dates. This isn't just busy work, I promise you. It's the ammunition that's going to directly back up your final score.
So, you've been working hard all quarter, you've been diligently tracking everything in your poem, now what? Well, it all leads up to the grand finale of the quarter, the final evaluation, which is known as the PARP. This is where all your hard work, all your documentation, it all comes together for that final score.
So yeah, the full name is the Performance Alignment Review Process, and I want you to pay really close attention to some key words in there. Holistic performance, development plans, and contribution to the environment. That tells you right away this whole review is about so much more than just hitting your numbers.
Now, the first huge piece of your PARP score is called your results. This is the part that, measures your direct output. But it's not just one number. It's broken down into 4 pretty distinct dimensions: the sheer volume of your work, its quality, its timeliness, and, interestingly, its alignment with the company's direction.
But, and this is important, here's where it gets really interesting. These aren't just simple metrics. Your volume score, it's not just your main goals. 20% of it is tied to your personal development plan. Quality, that's actually determined by feedback from your peers, not just your boss. Timeliness is a hard data point based on your sprint work. And direction, get this, that's a subjective call from the head of your department, which means your visibility with leadership is absolutely crucial.
The second major component is called your citizenship, and believe it or not, it's weighted just as heavily as your results. This whole section measures how you contribute to the team and the company culture. And it's split perfectly evenly across 4 big ideas. Are you reliable? Are you a team player? Do you show ownership? And do you demonstrate cooperation?
Of course, there's also a process for when things aren't going so well. If an employee's total score, that's results and citizenship combined, is below 70 for 3 quarters in a row, it triggers a formal reassessment of their position. Now, the goal here really is to encourage improvement over time. It's not meant to be punitive.
So, what is the big takeaway from all of this? I mean, what's the headline? It's that this system is not just about your code or your sales numbers or your direct output. This system is explicitly designed to also reward 2 other really critical areas: your own personal growth and your ability to be a great teammate. Let's break that down.
So beyond your results and citizenship scores, the PARP has a whole other section that is focused entirely on your development. You'll actually be evaluated across these 5 key competencies, but not for a grade. It's to create a real, concrete plan for your growth. This part of the review isn't about looking back at what you did wrong. It's about building your future at the company.
And if you're wondering what great citizenship actually looks like in practice, this quote from the company manual says it all. They literally want you to be a baton passer. You know, someone who actively helps other departments get their work done and succeed. This shows that your success isn't just about what you accomplish in a silo. It's about how you help the entire organization win.
Wow, okay, we have covered a lot of ground, right? From scoring philosophy to weekly tracking to the nitty-gritty of the final review. So, how do we boil all of this down into an actual playbook? What are the absolute keys to winning this game?
Here it is, your cheat sheet, in just 4 steps. Step 1, aim for that gold standard. That's 7 out of 10. That's the target. Step 2, document everything. Your PAM is your proof, it's your story. Step 3, know exactly how you're being graded across results, citizenship, and your own growth. And finally, step 4, lean into teamwork. Be the person others can always count on. Be that baton passer.
And all of this brings us to the most important question of all. With all these numbers and processes and acronyms, it is so easy to see your performance review as some kind of final judgment, a verdict handed down from on high. But when you really understand how it's all built, with its deep focus on development, documentation, and dialogue, you kind of have to ask yourself, is this system really delivering a verdict? Or is it trying to invite you to a conversation about your own growth? And the answer to that, well, it might just change how you approach your job entirely.